What's going on, everybody? Today's video will be the shootout between the Andis Profoil and the Wahl 5-star shaver shaper. First off, when I began barber school, I knew I needed a shaver, so I bought this. It was recommended to me by my instructor, and it never failed me. It works great. I did have to buy a second one though. My first one, I charged it up every day, and I had it plugged into the charger all the time, and eventually it wore the battery down. So it's recommended that you charge it up when you first get it. The initial first charge, 16 hours. Then when it dies, recharge it. Use it. When it dies, recharge it. Don't charge it every day. Kill the battery life. But other than that, I haven't had any issues with the foils ever breaking, the cutters not cutting. It works real well. I received this from Wahl, and as much as I didn't want to like it, I have to say I do like it. I bought the Profoil because it was recommended to me. A lot of guys I know who have this say the screens break constantly, and it works well, but it's just a headache replacing the screens and stuff like that. But anyway, that's just my initial thoughts on it, but I'll go into some of the details of the differences. Right away, that you'll notice this one's a little less wide. It's not quite as wide as the Wahl, but it feels like really quality made. Like the controls and everything is real nice. You pop the lid off. You have the pop-up trimmer, which you no longer have on the Wahl. But other than that, it's about the same thing. It does the same thing. The only difference will probably be these two heads have an angle and these two are flat, which I don't really see the difference. I actually kind of like this better, where they're both on the same plane as opposed to them being angled like that. Now, the differences. The differences are, this one you can't really use plugged in. It comes with a long, kind of stretchy, like an old telephone cord type of cord. It doesn't really work. If it's dead, even when you plug it in, it's still going to act pretty much like it's dead. Whereas this one, if it's dead, you plug it in and then you could use it while it's plugged in. The other difference is, this one, you pop the top off, and to clean it, you can actually run it underwater. You can turn it on, press the button, press up, and just sit it right under, put it right under the faucet and rinse it out. I don't believe you could do that with this. But to tell you the truth, as far as power wise, I would give it to the Wahl. Even though the Profoil has a ton of power, the Wahl has a little bit more. It's a little bit more aggressive. The screen is bigger, so with the combination of the bigger screen and the more powerful motor, you can run through more hair than you can with this, just a little bit faster. As far as the battery charge time, I would probably give it to the Profoil. It's going to stay charged forever. But this one you can run through probably a little bit quicker on a ball head than you could that. But it's not real significant, but it does feel a little more powerful. Let's see. As far as the the main thing, I think why I personally, for me, I would use the Profoil because I have very curly facial hair and I can't shave with a razor. If I shave with that Profoil after hitting myself with the, like an outliner, I won't have any problems. I mean, I won't have any bumps on my face. I can remember the first time I was introduced to this Wahl. It was before I was in barber school, and I would just go to the barbershop, get my hair cut. And this was 5-6 years ago. And my barber put it on my face, and I liked the way it felt. 2 days later, I was hit. My face was all broke out. I had bumps everywhere. I just couldn't. And I told him, don't ever use that thing on me again. So I was skeptical, to use this when I bought it initially, because I bought it to service, clients with, not really to use on myself. But out of curiosity, I used it, and I've used it tons and tons and times, and I've never had one time have an issue with bumps on my face from this. Actually, one of my the guys I went to school with, he ran across his face 5 times with this thing. I was like, why would you keep doing that like that? But he's like, oh, I ain't worried about it. But 3 days later, his face still looked, real smooth. He didn't have any bumps. So far as bump control, even though this doesn't really say anything about that, to me, it's great. I could use it anytime I want that little closer shave to look a little nicer, and I never have an issue. Whereas even with this, me having a brand new one, I tried it on my face and it still broke me out. It wasn't as bad as it did the first time I ever used one, but still, it still was an issue, still where I wouldn't want to pick it up and use it for me. But as far as other people, I could run through, it seems like, more people with this than that, just because it's faster and it's bigger. Okay, I guess the third issue I'll talk about is the foils. Everybody has issues with this foil. It breaks, it tears, the gold starts flaking off, and you have to get another one. And by the time you buy 2 replacement foils, you could have just bought a whole nother unit. Whereas this one, the foils are a little bit cheaper, but I haven't had an issue. In the time I've owned these, I had 2 different models, and I replaced one foil just for the sake of replacing it. I really couldn't tell anything was wrong with it. I mean, it didn't have any breaks in the foil or anything. I've never seen anything flake, or it just works perfect every time. Long as I didn't overcharge it and go crazy charging it every day, I've just never had a single issue with this. So far as quality, I know this is top-notch quality. As far as quality with the Wahl, I haven't had it very long. I received it probably, February or January. And I've used it ever since, but I haven't had it for the year and a half, so I can't vouch for it. I can't say it works very well, and it's real fast. But will you have an issue with the unit breaking itself or the foils breaking? You may, because it seems like 75% of the people, that used to use this don't anymore, because you get sick of it breaking. But I can't say it breaks, because mine hasn't broken. It still works just fine. So I guess to sum it up, I would have to give it to the Profoil. If I had to pick one, I would use the Profoil, because it does what I needed to do for me. I can shave people's head. It's not quite as fast as a Wahl, but it's never failed me, and it leaves my face clean and smooth, and I don't have any issues with bumps. As far as, maybe everyday use, or if I'm not shaving like that in the shop, the Wahl might be a better pick, but you'd have to look out for the issues with the foils. But other than that, the Wahl seems to be a nice product to me, but it doesn't have the shaper. But I don't know, most barbers, we got tons and tons of things that's gonna shape somebody up. That's just something that's, they deleted probably. Nobody needed it. But I guess if you have any questions, comments, man, leave it on the page. Tell me what you guys think, because I've used both of them extensively now, and like I said, most of the time I have to say I'll grab this just because it's faster. But if I had to just have one, and I'm going to be using it too, I'd have to go with the Andis. So it's not a real clear cut, better or worse on this one to me. It's going to be on your personal preference, how sensitive your skin is, how many people you do in a day. Like I said, this battery life is just astronomical. You can go maybe a couple weeks with this thing before not charging it. The Wahl isn't going to do that. So, I always try to give an honest review and tell you just exactly what it is, not one better or worse. I'm not working for any company or anything like that. It's just, I give y'all my personal experience, and you guys can take it from there. But until next time, this is the Andis Profoil Wahl 5-star shaper. I'm going to give it to the Andis. So, with that being said, this is Big Weez signing out. Peace.